Oh, I was on mute. If that does not melt your heart, nothing will. Wow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That is the work of two Dominican physicians who are part of a board for an organization called the Caring for Miracles Foundation. And they're here with us. So come on in, check in, Push Past Nation. I am Matthew, if this is your first time joining us, and we are here for a very special initiative from the Caring from Miracles Foundation. They're having an auction this Saturday, the Gift of Life Charity Art Auction, a fundraiser in support of the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit at the University of the West Indies in Jamaica. So come on in, share the live. I see we have Agnes Brown is with us already. We have Rosalind Sevre McLean. Don't forget to share the live, share the live. Let everyone know that we are here for this very special occasion. And we're going to invite our guests to join us as they unmute their mics and they say good evening to the audience.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, Dr. Lewis. Good evening, Dr. Georgie. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. And you?
Yes, doing well. I know it's been a hectic day for the both of you. As a matter of fact, Dr. Georgie is still on call, and Dr. Lewis was running through traffic, trying to beat the traffic to make it for this appointment out there in Jamaica. So we're very happy that you're joining us today. Before we get started, let me make sure that I am sharing the live so everyone can join us as they come on in to share on this very important conversation. And of course, you guys have been with me before. So what we're going to do, if anyone is not so familiar with the Caring for Miracles Foundation, I'm going to pin in the comment section that very first interview that we did where you guys announced and introduced us to the organization. So I'm multitasking here, folks. I'm sharing the live as well as having this conversation. So as we get started, just kind of remind us, and we say good evening, Sandra Norris, great to see you. Prudence, nice to see you. So just give us a little bit of an introduction of when this foundation started and why it was important for you to start this organization. Either one of you can go.
All right. So we were launched on September 10th, actually, 2021. And this was in response to my distress, I think, that about the inequity in healthcare resources, as well as the quality of healthcare delivered to infants in low and middle-income countries. And I felt like I needed to do something. I'm a firm believer that we need to be the change that we want to see in the world. And this was my way of making a difference. I immediately thought about asking Marilyn to join me on this journey, although she'll share with you that she initially thought that I was having a mental health crisis. Because when I presented the dream to her, it was in its entirety, the big dream in its entirety. And I think Marilyn thought that her friend was having a manic episode. But we subsequently spoke. I was able, through a coach, to break down the big dream into small, more manageable pieces, so that we could, take on a phased approach. And essentially, what we're our mission is to support the work of neonatal units in low and middle income countries, with a view to providing support for the purchase of life-saving equipment and to support the training of nursing, medical, and allied health staff, with a view of reducing the neonatal mortality to attain the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals of less than 12 deaths, neonatal deaths, per 1,000 live births. We'd like it to be zero, but we know that we need to take it one step at a time. And so this is our way of taking that first step towards that goal.
Yes, thank you for that. And just kind of tell us, walk us through some of the initiatives that you have done so far. What has the organization been up to, and what have you accomplished? What has been your challenges? So just kind of walk us through everything that you have been doing, because this is such an important initiative. You know, it is so important that our premature babies receive the optimal care that they need and the support for their family wherever they are born. So a child born in the Caribbean islands should not be at a disadvantage simply because they were born on one of the islands. So Dr. Georgie, kind of just walk us through some of what you've been doing in recent times.
So, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having us back. It's wonderful to be back again here. When we first came to you, we were just about to launch the organization, which was done in September. And we actually chose September as our launch month because September is NICU Awareness Month. And basically, the month is sort of dedicated internationally to sort of inform the general public what NICU stands for, because NICU is one of those places that people stumble upon, meaning no one plans on ending up in the NICU. Um, it's something that's necessary, and that's why we're working on improving the care that is given in the Caribbean. But most women, unfortunately, is the word that I would use, end up in the NICU because they've had a premature baby or they've had a baby who has some type of medical illness. So we launched in September in a month that was dedicated internationally for prematurity and prematurity awareness, NICU awareness. So the beginning of our journey started with the launch and a staff appreciation. And I think that's so important because the work and the dedication of the staff that takes to care for these fragile newborns is incredible. And if we want to have quality staff in the Caribbean, we have to appreciate them and show that we value their work. So that was one of the first things that we did, was a staff appreciation. And in that same month, and then we also gifted the NICU at UWI with something called a resuscitation box. And basically, that box has pretty much everything that we would need in an emergency situation where we have to resuscitate a newborn. So when these newborns are born, we know that their lungs are premature, and we have to do a lot to support them so that they continue to grow. And so in that resuscitation box that was given by the Caring for Miracles Foundation was intubation materials and all the things that we needed to help to support them when they're just born. But since then, we've done so much in terms of planning, and Julian's going to share with you one of the key things that we've done in partnering with the staff at the university in sort of working together so that we can provide the things that they saw is important for us to do.
Yes, so let's go over to Dr. Lewis as she tells us about that particular initiative.
So the University Hospital, the neonatal unit at the University Hospital of the West Indies in Jamaica is going to be our first adoptee. Our plan is to adopt the unit for the next 5 years and work very closely with the team to help them achieve their objectives, essentially. So our very first exercise was to hold a visionary retreat with the team as a way of introducing the team to the members of the Caring for Miracles Foundation, but also to hear from the team what their hopes and dreams are for the unit, what sort of unit they'd like to see in 10 years, 10, 15, 20 years' time, what sort of team they would like to have in 10, 15, 20 years' time. With the intention with that exercise was for us to hear from them what they wanted so that we could have a framework from which to develop some strategic planning, which we're planning to do with the NICU leadership, and to identify key initiatives. One, that would align with the overall goal of reducing mortality and providing advanced support for advanced training. Sorry. It was a really very insightful exercise. I was really proud of the team. They were very willing to share and to be very transparent. And it really gave us an idea of what they want and where they want to see themselves in a few years. And I think that's important because we need to hear from them what they wish to achieve. And our job is to basically help them to get there.
Yeah, so it sounds like the work is clearly on the way and you're making steady strides. But what has been the greatest challenges that you guys have faced?
Before you even go there, I do want to share with you another very big event that we had was a symposium, which was geared towards the community and community education. And on our board, and the symposium was organized by the foundation, we had physicians at the University of the West Indies Hospital, which included obstetricians, neonatologists, and we had parents of babies in the NICU. And we took that opportunity to share with the community what that experience was like, give them some very good education about why does prematurity happen. And it was a lot it actually, we got great feedback on that, and there seems to be a need for more. Like there a lot of people sort of hung around after the symposium was over because they had so many questions.
Right.
And this is the thing, a lot of people don't know about that, or they have a cousin or a sister or a friend who's gone through that but never really have had the opportunity to get educated on this and know what this is about. Because it can happen to any childbearing woman, that you sort of stumble upon this sort of situation where your child is sick, or you have a child that was born very early. So our first symposium was called Born Too Soon. And I think it was a hit from the feedback that we got. So that's something that moving forward, that we hope the foundation would be able to provide for a much bigger audience, which would include the Caribbean.
Right. So it
At
sounds like,
large.
yeah, it sounds like in addition to taking care and providing the resources for the babies and the families, you're also educating the public, which is such
Right.
an important aspect of the work that you're doing. Anything else you wanted to add, Dr.
No,
Lewis?
that is
Yes.
important
Go ahead, Dr.
because
Georgie.
that's important. That's part of our mission, right? Is to
Yes.
increase the awareness, educate the public on what this is about,
Right.
and to sort of equip women to know, how can I help to prevent this? What happens? How do I go into this with the knowledge of what I need to do? So that is part of our mission as a foundation.
Yeah,
Just to
absolutely.
add, the community education is actually one of our core values. So it's really, really a very important aspect of the work that we do.
Right.
And it's become, we've become aware of the need for this community education based on the feedback we've got from the parent, Simone Forbes, who sits on our NICU. When she shares with us her experience, she really had no idea what to anticipate. She had really no idea what to expect. And she found out a number of other people actually had no idea what the experience was like, and also it was a bit challenging to provide support to her because they had no idea how to do that. So we think that educating the community and empowering them to be able to support families walking this journey is an extremely important part of what we do. And so that's why it was important that one of our first symposium was targeting the community.
Right. And I don't think we can congratulate you enough for having the vision to take on this project that is so needed in the Caribbean. So, just congratulations for pursuing what could have been a very difficult situation, because, you're paving a path that has not been followed as yet in terms of getting this organization off the ground. So tell us a little bit about the auction that you're having on Saturday, and how have you been raising funds for the foundation?
So the auction is actually our very first fundraiser. And Simone, you probably realize by now that we don't do anything small, right? It's go big or go home. Right. The very first fundraiser is this massive we called it the Gift of Life Art Auction. And we selected that name because we thought that it resonated so beautifully with what it is that we're trying to achieve. And it's going to be held on April 2nd. It's a hybrid event, so there'll be an in-person as well as an online component. Where we thought that essentially the idea came about because I absolutely love art. And I just wanted to marry art, my passion for art, with this fundraising event. And so we'll provide a platform for artists of Caribbean origin to showcase their talent internationally. So I thought it was a really beautiful synergy. The event starts at 6 p.m., but there'll be cocktails for those who are in person from about 5:30, and an opportunity to mingle, and also an opportunity to meet some of the artists. We've got some of the artwork on display at the AC Hotel currently, and we'll be displaying some additional pieces at the
Yeah,
event.
and I'm also gonna go ahead on Facebook and showcase some of the artwork that you're auctioning. But let me just read a little bit about the event. So the Gift of Life auction is a fundraiser to support the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit at University Hospital of the West Indies, Kinston, Jamaica. The Neonatal Intensive Care NICU at the University Hospital of the West Indies was first established in 1961 as a small room on a maternity ward where basic care for babies was provided. It was subsequently relocated in 1963 to its current location as a 40 bassinet unit. That year, 33 patients were admitted to the unit. 72% of the patients admitted had respiratory distress secondary to prematurity. The unit was managed by 2 house officers, a resident and a consultant, and nurses. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually take this link, the website, and I'm going to post it on the Facebook Live so everyone can have access to it. And before I come back to you, let me just say good evening to Arnold Tulo, who just joined us. Thank you for being here. Clyde Gregoire is here, and he says, yes, my friend in the UK is currently pregnant and have been trying to explain to me that she may have a premature and some treatment she had to take so that the baby does not die. I would like to understand more about it since it is still have no clarity about the procedure. So yes, such an important conversation that we're having this evening. So you were telling us more about the auction?
Right. So we're hoping essentially to raise funds for the first phase of our intervention or initiative. And we know that this initiative is going to be extremely expensive, while very necessary, extremely expensive. And so we're trying to start the fundraising effort, but we also want to use this opportunity to create brand awareness. So to let the world know essentially that we're here, to know the kind of work that we want to do, to get some background on the neonatal unit, and to be aware of the kind of impact that we hope to have. This is just the first step.
Right, absolutely. So what I'm going to do, anything you want to add, Dr. Georgie?
No, I think Jillian did a great job of sharing with you what the goal is. But I just want to make sure that people are aware, because I think we have a lot of members of your audience who are in Dominica or in St. Lucia, and just to share with them that we're starting in Jamaica because UE is supposed to be the highest level of neonatal care in the Caribbean. And so it's so important that we set that up right. But that will be to the benefit of the other islands in the Caribbean, because when we have wins in Jamaica, it will be transferred to some of the other islands. So there's so much that we plan on doing. I mean, we have a huge mandate. Jillian does not go small. There's a lot of
Apparently
things that
not.
we have to do. And that's why this art auction is so important, because we need funding for the work that we need to do. It takes money to do the education, to do the training, to get the resources, the equipment, all of those things that we plan on doing to bring this unit to where it should be in the world, where it should be currently, so that it can meet standards internationally.
Absolutely.
So these artists, and I, just like Jillian, I love artists. I think they are what makes life worth living. So
I'm
here
sure
we are
Arnold,
trying to get people to live.
I'm sure
And
Arnold Tula will agree. He's on the
oh,
live.
and yes, and they're the ones who make life worth living. So I'm
Absolutely.
so grateful that so many of them have participated in this. And I am really hoping for such success for this event on Saturday, because this artists are going to give more life. That's basically what I think is going to happen.
Yes, and I think what I'd like to do at this point is kind of go through some of the artwork that will be on sale. But as we're doing so, kind of distinguish for us, because I know there's an option to attend on site if you're in Jamaica, and I'm hoping that many of our followers in Jamaica will share this live. But there's also an option to attend virtually and still be able to make a contribution. So, kind of just walk us through the two options. With somebody who's doing it virtually be able to purchase the artwork?
Yeah.
What can someone attending online versus someone attending on site expect? And while you're doing so, I'll just go through some of the artwork that is beautifully displayed on your Facebook page.
Sure, no problem. And again, thanks again for the opportunity to be able to share this with the audience. So we thought it would be really interesting and would create a great dynamic to have an interplay between the in-person and the online audience. Both parties will be seeing the same items, so they'll be displayed on the screen, but also through a platform that will allow the online audience to have a sort of real-time experience of what's happening in the room. And there will be an opportunity for people both online and in person to submit their bids. So it's going to be a pretty seamless, pretty smooth process, and the online audience need not worry; they will not be left out of this at all. So we wanted to create some competition between the in-person and the online audience. We're really looking forward to it.
Yes, and just a reminder to everyone on the Facebook Live, I posted in the comment section the link to the website where you can go and register. You can show your support for the incredible work that this foundation, the Caring for Miracles Foundation, is doing to provide neonatal care for our Caribbean premature babies. This is very important work. So I encourage everyone who is joining us to share the live, to share the work that is being spearheaded, and especially to share the work because two of the board members and the founders of this organization are two Dominican physicians. We're always proud when our Dominican brothers and sisters can step up to the plate and create something that can impact the life of so many of our fellow Caribbean brothers and sisters. So this artwork is absolutely spectacular. Can you tell us a little bit about any of the artists, the works that we're looking at?
Sure, Amarin, I'll let you take it away. Start with our Dominican artist.
Yes. So one of the artists is actually of Dominican parentage. Her name is Roma Osowo, but her mom actually lives in the British Virgin Islands, and she's from Dominica. And I love the piece that she has donated for the project. I'm hoping that I can actually get one of them, and I'm eyeing her piece. I'm actually going to make an appeal to Mr. Tulo, who's on the live today, and I'm hoping that he's able to participate next year because he has amazing art.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping that we'll get some more representation from some of the Dominican artists.
Yes, that would be fantastic to include our own artists, and it's good motivation for the artists as well to have more options to be able to sell their work, because we know that they've struggled so much during this COVID-19 period. So how else have you guys been raising funds? Because I cannot imagine that this is a small undertaking that you're on the path of. How else have you been raising funds for this organization?
So this is our first fundraiser. We do have a fundraising plan. So we've got other plans in store that we're not quite ready to divulge. But this is our first big event, and the plan is for this to be sort of our big signature event every year. The symposium that we'd had in November of last year will also be another annual fundraiser. The first one we offered without free of cost to the community. But with our subsequent symposiums is going to be more for medical emphasis, although we still will have that community cover. But this is our first fundraiser.
Yeah. Excellent. And we say good evening to Tina Bell de Ramon, who just joined us. And at Philip, always wonderful to see you. So tell us, besides the auction, what if we just wanted to make a donation to the foundation? Is there an option to simply make a donation at any point, even after the auction is over?
Yes, there is. So we're working very hard on getting our website up and running.
Right.
And that the option to donate through the website will be made available. So that's not up yet, but as soon as it's ready, we'll spread the word.
Right. So no PayPal account, nothing that we can use in the interim?
Not yet. And
so we should save the money for now.
Yes. And we're also hoping that we get some more corporate donors as well. Yes. So we're looking to partner with some of the corporations who are invested in a project like this, right, basically to support the community that supports them. So for all those who are on the live today that have connections, please share the foundation's mission with them so that we can do some partnering with them as well.
Right, because immediately, women's health organizations came to mind, pharmacists came to mind, medical practices came to mind. So I'm just just to throw some ideas of some organizations that may come to mind as we continue to promote this very important work. So again, congratulations. Thank you for being here. We wish the auction much success. We wanted to come on early in the week so that we can really encourage everyone to just please share this live, share the information. We can spread this far and wide via WhatsApp, via all your contacts so that we can make a donation. And remember, you do not have to be in Jamaica to make a contribution to this effort. You can simply go on the website, www.giftoflife-auction.com, and I will repeat that, www.giftoflife-auction.com, so you can register and you can be a part of this incredible initiative to support our premature babies in the region, in the Caribbean. So any final words as we wrap up this evening, ladies? Doctors? Get it right, Simone. Get it right.
That's okay. Just to remind everybody, as Marilyn said, while we started with Jamaica, the plan is to expand to the rest of the Caribbean. So we started with the academic center so that it would filter through, but we're not leaving out Dominica. We've got our eyes on Dominica. She's next. We're coming. But just to be aware that we're hoping that the entire Caribbean will benefit from this initiative.
Yes, absolutely. Dr. Georgie?
And that we do need your support. Yes. You can participate in the art auction. So any, just please go onto the website and have a look. Marlene?
Yes, I think she got stuck for a minute. Dr. Georgie, go ahead.
No, I just want to say again, thank you to you, Simone, for having us. Yes. And again, as Jillian said, we need your support. This is just the beginning. The work that we do here will be transferred to all the islands in the Caribbean, because when one island wins, all the other islands will get to win. I am in New Jersey, so I'm not going to be in Jamaica. I wish I was in Jamaica on Saturday, but I will certainly be participating. So please support it. This is to benefit all of us, especially women and children. The work that we plan, the work that we're doing, really is necessary work. And we hope that the community at large agrees with us and sees how necessary this is. So Thank you again for having us.
Yes, and my husband, who's a physician, is eavesdropping, and he has a question for you guys. He texts me. He's in the house, but he texts me. He said, will they be including major businesses to donate across the Caribbean? So are you guys targeting major businesses to be a part of the auction to make a donation?
Absolutely.
We are absolutely open to corporate companies participating. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are quite a
Absolutely.
few pieces, so we're hoping that even like hotels and offices, anybody. So please
Yes,
share
and
with
they're
your friends. Would
beautiful.
oh, they're awesome. They're awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I could afford more of it, but I
Mm,
definitely plan on getting something because they're beautiful. They're
mm,
beautiful art.
Now I
And
know you
something
guys.
just
Jillian didn't mention about the silent auction, Jill, because the silent auction is live now.
Ah,
yes, I forgot. I'm so sorry. So the correct. So we do have a for bidding currently. So we're encouraging everybody to register early and to go have a look, peruse the site. And the other thing I wanted to say, so incredibly generous, and to our sponsors who also have been incredibly generous, the AC Hotels by Marriott, Sandals Hotel, and the Herald Printers. So just a big thank you to everybody who's believed in this initiative and who have worked so hard. Also a big thank you to the team members who've worked so hard to get it to this point. And we really are looking forward to the event.
yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I know that you guys are incredibly busy, so I want to thank you for the work that you make time to do to support our region. And as Caribbean people, we're always thinking of ways to give back to where we come from. So I want to congratulate you again. And I want you to know that you always have a space here on Untapped Potential as the program continues to grow, as we continue to seek funding, we continue to reach wider audiences here on this platform. We might have 15 people looking at us right now, but we're reaching an audience of 15,000 a month. So we want to encourage you to keep coming back to let us know what you're doing to get the message out to the general public and to let everyone remind everyone of the important work that you're doing. So, with that, we say a pleasant good evening. Again, thank you everyone who joined us. Have a good night. I am Simone Matthew. Don't forget to follow Push Past 10 as we continue to promote and celebrate who we are as Dominicans and Caribbean people. And as you can see, we have such important work to do in so many areas of life. So I want to thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share the live and don't forget to support this worthy cause. So with that, we say good evening, good night, and thank you for being here. Until next time, you take care. Thank you, Docs.
Good night. Thanks for having
Good
us.
night. Yes, you're welcome.
Night.
Good night.